Morning and welcome to my digital version of how to do a skirt block using Adobe Illustrator. And then once we've made it Adobe Illustrator, we will be putting it onto Chloe to assess the fit. So when I do my skirt blocks, I have created a blocks, like an Excel file, and in my first block, or my first sheet I should say, I've got all the measurements that I would want, okay, of size 6, my size 12, and then you can just change these details to suit you. And then across here I've got all my calculations that I use for making up my blocks, and I use this book, which is Winifred Aldridge, Metric Pattern Cutting. And to follow me through in this tutorial, you really need that book, okay? And I'm using page 24 of how to do the basic skirt block. I've already done my calculations, because in here, if I go along to skirt block, there we go, there's my skirt block, then I have got all the points that we're going to draw on Illustrator. Then all my measurements, which have been brought in from my measurement table. Alternatively, you could just drop in your answers, okay? And then here's just any comments. So I've set this up for every block so that I can draw them out easier without doing the calculations all the time, okay? You don't need to do that, you can just do it in paper and pen. And then once you've done your calculations, you can just transfer it straight onto Illustrator. So because I need this information, I'm going to cut and paste it onto my Illustrator. So I'll open up Adobe Illustrator, new file. I'm just going to go 100 by 100 because then it will fit. You probably don't need that. You'll probably get away with 70 or 80 centimetres, but I just start off with 100 and 100. And I'm going to create that file. Okay, and I'm just going to then save it. And I'm going to save it under skirt block. So skirt block me. Okay, and if you saved it, I just keep all that as is. Right, there's nothing too complicated we're doing here, it's just a line drawing. And then I'm going to paste that information that I need. I'm just going to move it up here, make it a wee bit bigger so I can actually read it. Okay, so there's my measurements. There. So I don't need to go to and from my pages all the time. Okay. So we've now got all this set up and we're ready to draw our skirt block. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw like the outline where we're going to put the block inside. So following the instructions, we're going to draw a line 1 to 2, which is half the hip plus 1.5. So I'm just going to place my line tool there, and it is 53.5. And it is an angle of 0, and then we have our line. Now if you go to window and stroke, because we need this box. Okay, so let's see the weight of that line, put it to maybe 2. It's black, and there we go, that's better. Now I've got all my options, okay, because we need an arrowhead for later on. So let's see what that looks like. Perfect. Okay, so that's our first line. Next we're going to, so that's, you can label it if you want. You can use your text box, and then inside your text box you can write number 1. there. You can move it if you want, and then that's your number 1, and then you could put number 2 there if you want to do that. Okay, now we've got to draw the line 1 to 3, so that's 1 all the way down, so that is your skirt length. I've put 60 centimetres, you can obviously put less if you want. So skirt length, square across to 4 on the centre front line. So I'm going to go 1, but I think I will. Okay, there's 1 and 2. Okay, now we're going to go 1 to 3. And it's going to be 60 centimetres. And it's going to be all the way down there. So that is 270. Like so. And I'll make it 2, didn't I? For the stroke. How does that look? Okay, and then if you want to just check that that is intersecting, you can just zoom in and see. Let's see. It looks like it is. You just kind of hover over it. If you move it, and then if you just kind of hover over it, intersect. You see that? The guide tells you that. Okay, just to make sure. And then just so that we can all follow along, I will put the number beside this. So we'll make this number 3, like so. And then we're just going to square across. And I'm just holding down the shift key to make sure it's nice and straight, and then it will tell me when it intersects. This is why I love drawing on Illustrator, like so. And then we can just finish that off. Shift key. Perfect. And then we can give it the number 4. And I'll just check these lines. To be honest, if it's out a little bit, it's okay. But if you're going to do it, you want to do it right. Yeah, but oops. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so there is our 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So just one more we've got to do, and then that's us finished here. And that is to draw down from our waist to our hip measurement, and then we've got to square across to number 6. So line tool again, and we're going from here, and it's going to be 1 to 5 is 21. That's why I just love having that there, because I remember. Now I would 2 point. Now that you can't really see, so I'm just going to put a wee arrowhead at the end of it. It doesn't really matter what one. I quite like the straight one, like so. And now I can see what it is. Right, and then I'm going to. So that, sorry, that was number 5. Just move this like so. And then we're going to draw a straight line from number 5, shift all the way to here. Brilliant. Like so. And we can label that number 6. There we go. And I'm just going to file and save that. So that's you successfully done part 1 which is the grid lines which we are going to use to create our basic script block from page 24. So now we're going to start the back. Okay, let's do section 5 to 7. So 5 to 7 is 1/4 of the hip measurement, so about here somewhere, plus 1.5 ease, and then we square down to number 8. So we're going to draw the line here, and it's going to start at this point, and it's going to be 27.5. See how it's so handy having the measurements here, and then so that I can actually see it, I need to give it an arrow at the end so I can see what it is. There we go, that's it there. And then that is going to be point number 7. So it does get confusing, so it's the more lines you put in. And then I'm just going to move that a wee bit. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a line that goes from 7 from 7 all the way down, again shift, and that is now point 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1 to 9 is up here, and we're going to draw a line 1/4 of the natural waistline plus 4, so I've got 23.25. I'll just draw up here 23.25, and that's going to be 0. And I'm going to give it an arrowhead so that I can actually see it. Okay, how does that look? And then I'm going to move it down so it's in the correct place. And I'm going to label that number 9. Now that is going to be a slightly busy corner because I'm going to put in the waistline. I'm just going to put it down there. So now to get where the waistline is, okay, because we're going to have a curved waistline, obviously you don't have a straight waistline. It's asking you 9 to 10 at right angles is going to be a line of 1.25. So 1.25, and it's going to be straight up. So okay, just see what that looks like close in. Okay, then we have to draw a dotted line, join 10 to points 1 and 7 with a dotted line. So we'll do that. So there, there, to there, and we want it to be a dotted line, sorry, a dash line over here. Like so. And then a dash line from 9 to 7. So 9, not 10. From points 10 to 7. A dotted line. Okay, and I'm going to just label that point 10. Okay, next we are going to divide this line into 3 points. Okay, then select, using the selection tool, click on this line, then go to Windows, Document Info, and then go to Objects. There we go. Length 23.458 centimeters. 23.458 centimeters. You need that length. Okay. Okay, so we now know that it is 23.458 centimeters. So 23.458 centimeters. Want to divide it into 3 sections. So I'm going to go to 7.82. So my first line goes from here, and it's 7.82. And it's approximately about that angle. I can fix that. I'm going to put a wee arrow at the end. Like so. And that centre point. Rotate it down like so. And then I'm just going to copy and paste that line. Perfect. And now I've got point